Hi everyone, in this lecture we are going to talk about indexing with Boolean arrays. In the previous lecture we worked through a real-world example of how fancy indexing worked. Let's talk about this topic more. Fancy indexing is actually indexing with Boolean arrays. So what do we have here? Here we have a range of numbers 0 to 15. 0 to 16, not including that, and we have changed the shape to a 2 by 2 to a 4 by 4 matrix of 2 dimensions, 2 brackets. Now let's check for a condition. The result is going to be an array of booleans. Now if I say index bool, and if I say if a is greater than 9. Now, whenever you provide this kind of this kind of conditions, what it actually means is when we say a is greater than 0, it means that I want to take a look at the array a, and I want to find out which values within the array a they are greater than 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are going to satisfy these they are greater than 9. These are not going to satisfy 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. They are going to satisfy this condition. So if I take a look at the index bool, this is going to return an array. Keep that in mind. And the result is going to be an array of booleans. There we go. And it is going to cross-check, so you can see how powerful this is. Now imagine you have an array of like 100 rows and like 10,000 columns. And with just one line of code, you can find out which value, the value that you've provided, is going to be greater than a specific value element in that array or smaller than that. It's so powerful. So all of these values, they do not satisfy the condition because they're not greater than 9. But 2 values in the 3rd row and 4 values in the 4th row, they satisfy the condition. That's why we got true for them. Now, the result of a conditional evaluation on an NumPy array is an array of booleans with the same shape as the original array on which we applied the condition. We can also use this Boolean array to index into the original array. And if I pass in bool index underscore bool, it is going to give me all the items that satisfy that condition. It's going to provide it in an array. If you run it, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, they satisfy the condition. We can also print this. So if I say print index underscore bool, so print that, it is going to give us a list. We can also check for all the elements which are less than 6. So before actually running this, let's take a look at it. So all these numbers, they are going to return false because they're not less than 6, but all these numbers, they're going to return true, which are less than 6. Let's run that. There we go. So these are true for this specific condition, and these are false for that specific condition. Now, a Boolean value of true is also considered a non-zero value. So these 6 values, these are like 1, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we have 6 values that return true. If I run the non-zero, if I run the count non-zero function, it should return the number of items for which the Boolean value is true. How many items there are? There are 6. I mean, this is easy counting it right now, but again, imagine like an array of 100 by 100, like 100 rows by 100 columns. Then it would be like really time consuming to count how many values when you provide a Boolean condition, how many values actually return true. You want to count them. So I'm going to say count non-zero. The non-zero method, the good thing about it is that it is going to count all the true values because they're considered non-zero. So if I pass the same condition here, we should get 6. There we go. So we got 6. We can sum up the number of elements which are less than 6. Like how many elements, like are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many? We can do that with the sum function as well. If I say A is less than 6, it's going to provide us with 6 as well. Now, what we can do here is we can get a single row that satisfies the condition as well. You may want to you may want to check that condition or compare it against a single row, or like against columns or against rows. All right. So the way that this is going to work for us is we are going to grab the sum function, and I'm going to say A is less than 6, and then I'm going to provide an access argument, which I'm going to set to access. I'm going to set it to 1. If I run it, what do we got? What do we have? So it basically not only for one row, it's not for one row, it is for all the rows that we have. It is going to count how many values satisfy in each specific row. So 4 values in the first row, 2 values in the second row, 0 values in the third row, and 0 values in the fourth row. We can visualize that here. 4 values in the first row, 2 values in the second row, and 0 values for row 3 and row 4. It's basically going to count, and the number that it returns is going to be the number of elements that are actually true, or that the Boolean value for them is true. There is another method as well, that is any. This any is going to say, are there any elements in the array A that satisfy a condition? So if I say greater than 8, are there any element, I mean like even if there is one element that is going to return true. Of course, we are going to have so many elements. So greater than 8, we have 7 elements which are greater than 8. So it is going to return true. There is another method that is all. The all method is going to return true if all the elements in the array satisfy the condition. So if I say A greater than 8, not all the elements satisfy this condition. 4 is not greater than 8. That's why it's going to return false. So when is it going to return true? I'm going to say np.all. Are all the elements less than 50? We know that they're less than 50. So if I pass in 50, it is going to return true. We could provide a specific access again for the all method as well. So just check for the columns which are less than 9. So I'm going to say A less than 9, and I'm going to provide access 0. We are going to get false, 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 and false. Which columns are actually less than 9? It is weird because in my lectures, okay, that's fine. Let's just go ahead and check that out. So if I print out A, in this column we don't have any values. Now keep in mind that it is going to return true if all the values within that column they are going to they satisfy that condition. So this satisfies the condition, this one, but not this one. This. So in no column we have A which is going to be less than, in no column we have all the elements which are less than 9, because we have this 12, 13, 14, and 15. Let's do one more, and we are going to check for the columns again. I'm going to say all. Check if all the columns values are going to be less than 13. If they are, for the columns that are less than 13, we're going to get true. For the columns which are not, we are going to get false. Access is going to be 0. Keep in mind that all the values in the column should satisfy the condition. Even if one of them does not satisfy the condition, then it is going to be false for all of those values. So in this first column, we have the maximum number is 12, which is less than 13. That's why it says true. But in this one, we have 13. 13 is not less than 13. We have 14 and we have 15. That's it for this lecture. See you in the next one.